All right, today in A Course in Miracles, we are doing lesson 15. My thoughts are images that I have made. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. You think them, and so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. This is the function you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing, it is image making. It takes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. This introductory idea to the process of image making that you call seeing will not have much meaning for you. You will begin to understand it when you have seen little edges of light around the same familiar objects which you see now. That is the beginning of real vision. You can be certain that real vision will come quickly when this has occurred. Popcorn. Javon.
You want commentary or should we read the whole thing?
It's up to you.
Well, commentary real quick. You think you see them, and you think you think them, and you think you see them. It's not seeing, it is image making. And so what's happening when we think we see and we think what it's talking about is projection. We're really projecting, because when we see an outside world, it's made up of mind stuff, and it's a projection. And so when I see anything that's other, and especially when I have negative feelings associated with it, it's my self-creation. So I'm not really seeing, as the Course is talking about, when I'm seeing differences, when I'm seeing sameness, and I'm seeing love, and I'm seeing innocence. You know, it's like I could see something else and be closer to spirit, and I could be like, well, they're innocent, or even they're doing the best they can. Like, or even a smaller step, all those rascals, look at them, tiny steps. But most of the time we see these outside things obstructing this thing, which is also outside.
Yeah.
And interesting note too, you will begin to understand when you have seen little edges of light around the same familiar objects. Ken Wapnick actually talks about people having that experience as they do the Course. It's kind of like
actual light.
Yeah, like it's almost like there's a light behind you, shining from behind you, and you can kind of see the edges around stuff.
No way.
Yeah, I've never had that experience, but
soon.
Maybe that's something that might be in your cards.
So like the image of me seeing that person as the negative part that I'm imaging, and then actually taking a moment to be like, wait, okay, this person has walked this path. If I were to walk that path and I didn't have the resources or the tools or the people to support me, then I would probably be reacting the same exact way.
Yeah.
How can I be there for this person?
Yeah. Well, be there or not, remember, understanding.
Recognize.
Yeah, understanding is really helpful, and understanding leads to compassion, and compassion leads to love. Understanding leads to acceptance, and acceptance leads to compassion, and compassion leads to love. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to love or fully accept something just as it is when it's driving you crazy.
When they're hurting you, yeah.
When you're hurting you, yeah, you're like, my boss, he's really good with just kind of going with the flow and not reacting. But like when someone comes at him, he just flips, and totally goes on attack mode like a rabid animal in the corner. And it's we're talking, and someone was on the phone with him, and the guy's like, fuck you, and I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and then back and forth they started blowing up each other. I'm like, wow, that turned a corner. He's like, yeah. Kind of lost it there for a second. But that's the thing, like, if if you see the other as the aggressor, like the FU
Yeah.
turns into the FU.
Right.
But when we're defending ourselves to the other, my defense feels like an FU. Like I was just defending myself, and then they got all crazy. Well, maybe true. I get you have the experience, but they experienced that you got all crazy.
Aggressor.
Yeah, you got all crazy, and so they were just defending themselves.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
projection both ways.
Yeah. You're thinking, why would you be offended at that? I'm not offended.
You're
by stuff
offended.
like that.
Yo.
Yeah. You're such a.
Well, I'm not being weird. You're being weird.
You started it.
Yeah.
Watch me too weird. Exactly. It's the whole brother started it. This is what I deal with all day with my kids. He did it first. It's like, yes, well, you were on his face with your foot. So I think we both have
that's not my fault.
Yeah, he started it.
In my foot's way.
He put his face on my
My
foot.
foot was gonna go there. He put his face there.
I was just walking.
It's just walking.
Yeah. So this is the kids bring it into light what we do.
Yeah.
And so if we
True.
could get this function now of, is this really a thought? Is this a real thought? You think you see them, you think you think, and you think you see them. So it's really interesting to realize that you aren't thinking and you aren't seeing, because what you have done and what you as us, we have related to the character. The character doesn't have thoughts. The character doesn't have it doesn't have things it sees. The character is the character. It's a script. It's in the play. And it's not like you don't exist, because that brings terror to people. Like, what do you mean I'm a character and script? And what do you mean I don't have free will and my path is already written out? It's like, well, the character, that could very well be true. The character maybe has very few options. It might be that the character, the you that it's talking about, has a couple options. Sure, it's what's those books called? Choose Your Own Adventure. Yeah, maybe at best. But the good news is that's not you, and so you aren't thinking them. You aren't seeing them. Well, what is? Well, really, the only one who is planning this out is the one at best in the theater watching. And if I can relate to that, then I get free, and it's not so bad. Verse 3, as we go along, you may have many light episodes. They may take many different forms, some of them quite unexpected. Do not be afraid of them. They are signs that you are opening your eyes at last. They will not persist because they merely symbolize your true perception. They are not related to knowledge. These exercises will not reveal knowledge to you, but they will prepare the way to it. Because you can't learn knowledge, you can only remember it. In practice, the idea for today, repeat it to yourself and then apply it to whatever you see around you, using its name and letting your eyes rest on it as you say, this cup is an image that I have made. This blank is an image I have made, and so on. It's not necessary to include a large number of specific objects for the application of today's idea. It is necessary, however, to continue to look at each subject while you repeat the idea to yourself. The idea should be repeated quite slowly each time. Although you will obviously not be able to apply the idea to very many things during the minute or so of practice that is recommended, try to make the selection as random as possible. Less than a minute will do for the practice periods. If you begin to feel uneasy, do not have more than 3 application periods for today's idea unless you feel completely comfortable with it, and do not exceed 4. However, the idea can be applied as needed throughout the day. This book is an image that I have made, and so on. And so once again, it's just you're just realizing that there is a bigger part of you, and that's it. That's the gist that we're getting in this whole thing, is this little part that I think that I am, that I feel so stuck, that keeps on doing the same stupid stuff over and over again, and that thinks it can do as it wills, but doesn't realize it can't will what it wills. That part of me is not, maybe it's part of my experience for sure. You know, my Javonness is a part of my experience, but it's definitely not all of me. And the more I look, I realize that it's hardly any of me. It's this little blip of experience. And so the big question is, well, who am I? If this is hardly any of me, who am I? Am I that blinded? And the answer is yes, we're that blinded. And so you start to unpeel the layers of the onion. Well, okay, if this is all a miscreation, could that be this? Could this cup be an image I have made? Could this book be an image I made? Could this relationship be an image I have made? Could this controversy be an image that I have made? Because all of those end up being the same thing. They end up being these images or these ideas. Like my challenge is just as much an idea as this cup is an idea.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thought as well. And then once you realize that, oh, I'm making these, then you get a chance to change them. And we realize, wow, my experience is coming from these ideas that I'm holding on to. What if I held the ideas less tight? What if I wasn't so committed to these certain ideas and these certain concepts to be the way that they are? What if I can change my concepts and my context? And if we did, the world would change instantly.
Obviously, you know, I always think of relationships because I think that's my biggest issue in this world that I've made up. And and I think about I thought about a friend that is one of my kids' friends' parents that we've known for a really long time. And I've sent a couple messages to her just saying like, hey, you know, sorry about like what happened. It's the one with the kid kicked another girl's face. Yeah. I'm hoping we can, meet up and talk. And so she's ignored. Yeah, she's ignored my text, and I'm telling myself like, I don't want to be friends with people who can't forgive. Like, people make mistakes, Yeah. Like, fuck her. I don't want to be friends with her. I don't need people like that.
That's right.
But yeah, I also like, I know the kind of life she's had, and she has had a hard.
Curling hair on my hair.
She's had a hard life, because she's shared with me some of the things that she's gone through. Uh-huh. And I just think like, that could be why it's hard for her to forgive, and be open to, people making mistakes. Because that was one of the things, was a really huge mistake, if you want to call it that somebody, hurt her really bad.
Yeah.
So if I try to put myself in her shoes, I don't know where I'm going with this, but...
Well, understanding leads to...
empathy.
Empathy, which leads to...
Love,
yeah. There's another step in there, I forget what it is. But yeah, basically, understand first. It's like, well, what's going on? And it's a really interesting step in general to understand people, because, people watch dramas all the time. There's the Real Housewives, and there's Love Island, and then there's... just basic dramas in movies, even action movies. Sure. And without the drama, we don't watch the movie.
Dance moms,
oh my gosh. This nuts. Those ladies are nuts.
I hate that my kids watch that. I'm like, turn it off.
I know. It was on in the back channel one time because Cassidy loves that show. I'm like, what the heck is this world?
Yeah, I know.
So, anyway.
She introduced it to my kid. I'm like, why?
So we love the drama, but we watch it on a show, but we don't like it in our lives. Well, what's the difference? The difference is this is me and that is them, right?
Right.
And so it's just this concept of me and them. But if I realize it's all me, then I'm like, wow, what if I watch my drama like interesting? It's the same exact thing as you're best friends with somebody.
Yeah. And
your best friend does stupid stuff. And you're like, wow, that's so crazy, you did stupid stuff, tell me more. And then you get into a relationship with your best friend, romantic relationship, and now the best friend, assuming your best friend is a romantic partner.
Yeah.
Can be one. But then now your best friend that's a romantic partner does something stupid and you're like, oh my gosh, how could you do that? Right? And what happened? Well, the difference is now that you're romantically involved, now it's our relationship and it's my life that you're messing up. As before, I think, oh wow, you're so stupid. That's so interesting. I love, my crazy friends.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing that. Anyway, okay, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Yeah. And so, could we shift to where we didn't have this attack on my life, on what other people do? Can I do that with my kids? Can I do that with my mom? My own personal drama.
Yeah.
Can you, or any of our spouses? It's possible, but it's kind of a dying. It is a dying. The verse in the Bible that says, "I die to self, so Christ could live."
Oh.
So what is it saying? Well, it's saying that there has to be a dying to the self for Christ to live, because Christ is the unifying spirit. Christ is that unifying consciousness that we all share, that we all are already. Yeah. This is, once we realize that Christ is in us and that we are actually one with Christ already, that is the atonement that's the Course is talking about. And if I die to self so Christ could live, well, what's dying? Well, Christ can't die. What could die? Well, the only thing that could die is the thing that was born and the thing that was created. The thing that was never created can never die. So the only thing in that equation that can die is this idea of separateness. And so that's the body, that's the idea of Javon, the idea of Layla or Sue.
Sure.
And if I have to pay what I have never had in order to gain what I can never lose, that's not a bad deal.
Sure.
It's a great deal.
Yeah. You want to?
In theory.
I was going to say.
In theory.
Did you want to say anything, Sue?
In theory. So you say.
Like, can we look at our relationships? I always try to remind myself, like, what would Jesus do? Like, if I were Jesus, how would I treat this person?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you want to just say anything, Sue, about...
It better be good, too.
Stop.
I do get that. The predicament that I'm in is I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Like there's some
is it
kind
because
of
you're in a physical problem or a emotional problem? I forgot. I didn't miss that part.
Emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An emotional.
Right? Forgiveness? Is it still forgiveness? Or have you forgiven?
Well, in order to forgive, what the cards are telling me is that there's like some kind of a lie that I'm telling myself. Like there's an emotional like I'm full of emotion, but in denial of either the depth of it or like how I'm treating that emotion.
Like you're telling yourself you're okay and you forgive, but you really haven't because you haven't like had closure or something like that.
What is this? This is a card reading, or this is an experience that you have?
Card reading, a tarot reading.
What's your experience of that could have fit?
The experience of what? I'm sorry.
What's your experience? Because the readings, in general, only matter to you when it hits your particular expression where you're at, and so.
Oh,
what
it was
comes
actually.
up for you?
I actually did it in response to the lesson that I was on, which is I'm on being determined to see.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, there's definitely something I'm not seeing. So I asked, how can I see reality more clearly? and it was telling me that, it was actually a really positive reading. I pulled some really like positive cards. And then even with this hidden self, are you familiar with tarot at all?
A little bit, yeah.
You know the cards? So for the hidden self, whatever it is that I'm not seeing, it's I pulled the Fool.
Okay.
So
I
it's
love that guy.
fearlessly just embarking on this journey that he has no clue
Can I
anything. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask, if you were to call this person today, how do you think like that conversation would go? Like, would there be love, you think, in that conversation? Yeah. I think, because I think about that, like if I were to call this person today, what emotions would come up for me? And like,
it would be, you're such a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Sure. I get it. And I'm wondering if like writing that conversation down in a journal, or, I mean, because I don't know if you're like ready to have that conversation. I know I'm not ready to have that conversation with this person, and I don't think that person's ready to have that conversation with me. But if I were to, like,
I don't think it's necessary, at least in my part, I don't think it's necessary to have a conversation or let this person into my life at all.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then, but the whole dumbass, like, because when and if ever, this doesn't happen very often anymore, but if and when my ex does pop in my mind, it's always, you're such a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
So it makes, so I guess the Fool.
But like, if we are one, then like technically, not to be, I hope you don't take this personal, but like if we are one, then we'd be calling ourselves a dumbass, right? And you would hate if he called you a dumbass. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said he. We are talking about a he though. Anyway, if he called you a dumbass,
Anonymity.
I think with Jared.
Oh no.
We have.
You're Jared. Okay, never mind.
We have situations where I go, babe, if you see this person and it comes up, like, what are you going to say? I think you need to practice what you're going to say, so that if it comes up, you're prepared and you're not flustered and you don't say that, because he does like the freeze, the fight or flight or freeze. He's a freezer.
He's like,
a deer in headlights. So I'm like, have like your go-to bullet points that you can say, like this, and then you can elaborate on it. But you got to write it out first, so you know what your bullet points are.
I do that too.
And so I'm wondering, not that you're ever going to see this person, but if you were to write out, like, if you were to see this person or run into them at the farmer's market, like, what would you say if they said hi? And maybe that might help with healing, or like writing it out as your one. Like, okay, if I was talking to myself and I was a jerk, like, what would I say to myself to like help myself be a better person or heal? I don't know. Just a theory.
That's what the work is. That thing that I shared you with Byron Katie. It's getting clear about your judgments. Whatever, he is so insensitive. And then being able to look at the nature of all of our judgments and seeing that our judgments are projections. Like, we can't have an offense of any kind of idea unless it's a projection. And seeing how I have all of these judgments within me. Not that we're doing, like, being the same way in life at all. It's like, obviously you, Sue, are a lovely person by how we are experiencing, by how I'm experiencing you personally. But if something is offending me, there's some kind of belief in there that can be offended. And so that belief, or even the belief that the offense could be true, or there's like something in there that makes it painful. And so that's the release. And to see that we're not that different, to see the sameness of how somebody else that's so horrible is not that different from you at a basis. Like, we're still human. If I had done the same thing, I would have done the same thing, or maybe I did do the same thing. Like that kind of like, oh wow, that is the same thing. That kind of realization, like, wow, maybe mine was more socially acceptable to me, or maybe like they were overtly, someone was cheating on somebody else, but you were cheating on them because you had given your heart to something else or someone else, but nothing physical happened, or things like that, that no one ever knew about it, and you didn't even see it, and you could see, like, oh wow, we were both doing the same thing. Like that kind of thing ends up coming out when you start to dig deeper into these judgments that we have, and the idea, like, oh wow, we're not that different, and he or she is just doing the best they can. It brings a lot of freedom to you, and the work can even be done even if someone's dead. These aren't conversations that you have to have with people. Like, there's no reason to put yourself in the way of some other person that's spinning and crazy. I don't know. That was a ramble.
No, but it was good. It was good.
Now there's a lot of resistance on my end, though.
Which is
Until now.
Not bad. There's nothing that says
Until today.
Because like, if it was somebody if there was like something as insensitivity, I feel like that'd be easier to, like, and then I just have to be more sensitive. But like, when it's just the lack of accountability, like, just the ability for somebody to say something, say that this is one thing is their desire, when it's completely the opposite. Like, they are entirely incapable of doing whatever it was that they say they wanted to do. And then trying to basically throw tantrums about, in order to get their way. Like, just fucking weasel their out of it. And sure, there was a time when I did behave like that. My younger sister will tell me, because that's how I acted when I was 6 years old, put in charge of her while my mom had to go get groceries. And this was before, in Korea, it was super safe. That was very normal to do.
There's no judgment here. I didn't know you had a sister.
Yeah, she doesn't talk to me.
Oh.
And because of all that, and because she's refusing to recognize that our parents basically
put
me in charge of her. Put me in charge of her when I was 4 or 5 years old, 4, 5, 6 years old. And she's a year and a half younger than me. But I was born in April and she's born in November. Like, so like, we're both babies.
Maybe that's the emotion that needs to come up, and not having to do with the other person. Maybe.
What?
I said maybe that's the emotion that needs to come up, and not the other person. Uncovering that.
Which emotion? Which one?
About what your horoscope said, or your card said about the emotion that you're supposed to uncover. Maybe it's with a different person.
What's the emotion? What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I don't know.
What is it? What is it? Tell me.
Sadness, loss, grief of your sister, maybe? I don't know. I mean, because we were talking the other day in my Bible study group about, like, I don't know how it pertained to leadership, but the chapter that we were reading was, like, on grief. And I was like, what does this have to do with leadership? Like, this is so off topic. And I was getting really frustrated, especially because nobody was sharing in the group. And I was like, I don't have any grief in my life right now. This is really annoying. Like, I don't understand why they have to focus on this. And then, I was like, oh wait, I am grieving the loss of, like, not necessarily a friendship, but like the friendship, the dream of what I wanted the friendship to be. So I'm not saying goodbye to this friendship, but I'm saying goodbye to the perfect dream friendship that I thought we were gonna, like, grow old together and, like, sit on a patio and, like, drink coffee. And now we're not gonna be that. Our kids can still be friends, but we're not gonna be friends. And you know what I mean? So I was kind of grieving that. Still don't know what that has to do with being a leader, but I guess my point is, you know, there's grief and loss in, like, uncovered feelings. And, like, I didn't know that I felt that way until this leadership summit came up or whatever. And I was like, gosh, I didn't realize I was grieving that. And maybe I was thinking, like, even though you haven't talked to your sister in a long time and you've kind of let that go, maybe that's something that needs to come up, like grief, loss. I don't know. Just trying here.
Staring in the
I
dark.
really appreciate it. And you can't see, but yeah, like, that definitely brought tears to my eyes. So
I was gonna say,
you're onto something.
It makes me emotional because I don't talk to my family members anymore, and it makes me sad. So when you say stuff like that, I get emotional, you know?
Yeah, definitely. At both of those situations, right, with my sister and with the ex, like, there was this life and this person that I was promised.
Yeah.
And then, fucking idiot.
Rascal. He's a rascal.
No, like, I couldn't have been more clear. Like, communicating and thinking back too, I'm like, wow, yeah, you talk about somebody who freezes, like, I am not that person. Like, I've hammered that out of me somehow. And, like, when he repeated this pattern that he always does, I was like, you're doing it right now. You are repeating what you promised that you were not going to repeat in Sedona again right now. You better fucking up. This is exactly what's happening, right? You better fucking apologize.
You sound like me and my Jared.
Or else, if you don't apologize, the marriage or the wedding is off.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more clear.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm proud of myself for that, for not freezing. But there is.
I think because I relate so much to you and your Jared, because my Jared kind of acts the same. I think I would always say the same thing, like, you're doing the same thing, you're doing the same thing. But I was also saying the same thing, like, I was also saying you're doing the same thing, instead of, like, stopping and pausing, which I'm doing now. And that allows him to reflect and be like, I am doing the same thing, without me having to say it, you know? Because we were both kind of not given the tools to I don't know, get through those situations. Until now, we finally have some tools that we're using.
Yeah.
You know, but we were both kind of doing the same thing. He was reacting to me, I was reacting to him, then he was reacting to me, and it's hard. I don't know, I could say you're lucky you got out of it, but I also feel like,
absolutely. I have zero regrets about that.
Yeah.
Thank fucking
But
God.
I also feel like Jared's like my biggest teacher, you know, and I have grown from it, from being stuck in this relationship.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna say something
well,
earlier.
Have children. You have
Are
children.
you okay with time?
I gotta see my sister at 8:00.
Oh. Okay.
This would be a really, if you wanted to, Sue, this is a really helpful thing to do the work with, because these kind of things is the gift, according to the Course anyway, the things that really trigger us. And our greatest challenges and our greatest hurt and our greatest disappointments, our greatest betrayals, all those things, it's where our greatest gift is and it's also our greatest attachment. Like we're stuck to it. Like I could get away from the person, but I can't get away from that lesson, right? Because and you could tell, because it's like it's the fuck that guy, fuck him right? That's how you can tell it's still there. And it doesn't mean
no, I definitely want the lesson.
It doesn't mean they didn't do bad.
Yeah, we've already established I'm getting my purse back, like, so
yeah, you get that purse back.
So yeah,
and so now it's a matter of quality of life. And so the if you want it, I mean, this is extracurricular, and who knows if it's going to help or not. Like, I don't know, but it's been very helpful for me. The work is 4 questions, and then you turn it around, and
the lady.
Yeah, the Byron Katie thing. And so I'll send you the worksheet, because it's really helpful. It actually has. The first step is you fill out the worksheet and you write out all of your complaints. And you try to be as petty as possible. Mm-hmm. You try to have no filter, no spiritual filter, no mature filter. You really want to be as raw, authentically, like
pissed off,
childlike, pissed off. You go there, right? And so, try to think of one of the events that just was over the top. Like maybe it was that one you were just talking about, where you're like, if you don't...
where I tried to take my dog.
Yeah, there you go.
And throw him to the ground, like, shove me to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
He threw him? Oh my God, sorry. That's another topic.
So then you write out all the judgments. And so you write them out, all the judgments. And then you try to get there. And then you work on those statements that you have. And each one of those is something that we can work on. And the 4 questions are, is it true? Are you absolutely sure it's true? Who am I when I believe this thought? Who would I be without the thought? And what you'll find is
I like that one.
The thought, when I have the thought, when I hold on to the thought, I have the current state, which is uncomfortable and it's unpleasant. If I release the thought or the belief or the judgment, well, it's a lot better, right? It's not tormenting me. But then you do this thing called turn around. I turn it around, and I turn around each statement, and everything, like, he offended me. You turn it around. There's 3 ways to turn each one of them around. He offended me turns into either I offended him. That's a turnaround. You find some truth in there. You can also say I offended me. That's a turnaround. And I forget the third one. But on each one of those, you get to experience a different level of truth that is there that I have been ignoring. And they're the more subtle levels that will give me some understanding. It's kind of like it simulates the life review when you die. You get to experience how these other people experience those same exact situations that you felt was so clear and one-sided. And it gives intense understanding, and with understanding comes compassion, really. And compassion leads to love, even for the unlovable, like that Jared guy.
I feel like I need to fully grieve the life that I was promised, lied to, and lied to about, and like learn to process that first. Because I feel like going through all that process for that motherfucker that like had 0 capacity to give me the things that he promised that he was going to give me, in place of me choosing to let go of the fact that I was never married and divorced. I don't have 4 children, baggage. I don't have debt. I don't have, and I was willing to, and I'm not 10 years older than me. This fucker. And like in exchange for me basically letting go of all that, like overseeing all of those baggages, there was like, I'm going to love you for who you are, and I don't want you to change. I don't need you to change. I love you exactly as you are, was what I was promised. And
yeah,
I was like, okay, you know?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I don't need all of that other stuff.
Yeah. I think I mean, I don't know, just my thoughts, and this is probably off topic, I don't know, maybe it isn't, but like for me, I know, you know, he really wanted to have you, and I know, you know, my husband's a really good salesman, and you know, they'll sell you on whatever to make the sale.
And probably forgetting myself.
I think that's what I think he sold you on that dream.
Yeah, he might have told you whatever he wanted to sell you, and who knows if it was
genuine,
lying or not. It could have been.
I know it wasn't.
Well, it could have been genuine in the moment, and then life happens, and then
which doesn't count. If you're not able to see something in the way that is like you have the capacity
to see it in that way, like to see it fully through. My husband doesn't have the capacity to see things fully through. He'll make a promise, and I'm like, well, if you break down the timing, you can't do that. And he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he, like, in the moment was like, I really wanted to do that for you, but like he doesn't break down the process of that like us women do, you know. We're like, every little detail is broken down, and we like see the whole big picture in our mind, and we're like, nope, can't do that.
Yeah, we've all wanted to do something, and then we attempt to.
No, that's a good point.
I'm
still like,
you want to do
that's
something.
Not my fault.
You want to do something, you attempt it, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I thought that was going to work. It didn't work.
Yeah.
You know.
You didn't have a business plan.
You didn't have a business plan.
Yeah. Well.
And it'd be forgivable if you were 30 years old, never married, and didn't have 4 fucking children already. But when you have all of that, and you still don't fucking know. What?
I said kids are a blessing. Well, my kids are.
No, exactly. So, like, after you've done all that, like, you should be able to, like, I don't know. So.
I know. I'm glad we brought this up, though, today, Sue. I feel like this is the beginning of something beautiful for you. Let's do it again.
It doesn't feel very beautiful right now, but thank
you.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, your Jared is my mom or my kids at bedtime. Or, you know, it's like these things that torment us. And the bigger the torment, you know,
bigger the growth,
the bigger the opportunity, because, you know, maybe you, according to a course, this dynamic has been going on for maybe thousands of years.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you can, it doesn't mean it's easy. It just means it's this dance that you guys have played, that you have offended each other. There's a really good chance you've been offending each other
for
in horrible ways for many, many lifetimes. Yeah. And that, what that does, though, whether it's true or not, is it gives you a bigger context, so that you're able to have some more mobility and not get stuck. Because when things are really difficult, zooming in onto the details makes you more stuck.
Yeah.
So if things are really difficult, you can zoom out, like, wow, this could have gone on for lifetimes. That's a really big zoom out.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's like, well, if that's the case, let's deal with it. Like, what can I do right now to release? How do I release? I don't even know how do I release, but just having the willingness to be willing to release and forgive and understand is a really big step. So it's awesome, Sue.
As long as I get to keep my purse.
Maybe if Javon sends you the questions, maybe I can come over and I can do it with you, like with my people, and you do it with your people. Yeah. You just sit together.
We could do it together.
All the three of us.
Yeah.
You with your people.
Yeah, I can do it with all my people.
Okay, yeah.
And it's really wonderful. But, you know, there's no mandatory parts of this, Sue. It's just, it comes up. I think it's valuable.
Yeah, I'm glad it came up. I mean, thanks for sharing. You know, I know it's not easy sometimes.
Yeah, and also, you don't have to give up anything. You know, sometimes we want to hold on to our offenses because whatever reason. It's like, I could never forgive them. It's like, okay, well, that's not a problem. There's no need for... I will
forgive them. I will forgive, as long as I can get my purse back. That's the only thing. I'm keeping my purse. You can't steal from me and keep my purse if I forgive you.
But isn't that being
as long
attached?
As I get my purse back.
It's being attached to like
It's
the worldly things that we were talking about before.
It is. Well, to an extent, we're always attached. If you still think that you're a body, you're still attached.
Like the guy that went to the Gucci store or whatever you said. The Buddhist that went to the Gucci store and he's like, I still want to be attached here or whatever.
Yeah. Well, to an extent, you have to be attached to stay in the world to something.
We don't want to be attached to these things.
Yeah. So it's all good. Curiosity. I tell you, just being curious about how crazy I am is a really helpful state, because that curiosity is an openness. And when I'm not curious anymore, when I'm very sure about things, and I'm not open to learning about it because I already figured it out, that's when I'm closed off and stuck. But as long as I can stay curious, like, wow, this is really crazy how worked up I get about this. This is really crazy how, why did this happen to me? I wonder what the lesson is, or I wonder what's there. This is really crazy how painful this thing is, and I can't get away. And what's the deal with that? Why would somebody do that? How is that even possible? This is really interesting. That kind of state of mind is a really beautiful place to be. It's lighter than like attack and protection modes. All right, I'm sorry. I gotta get going.
Me too.